Hello, beloved community. I would share, but I don't know if that's a good way to start. What Key Fob's mind says at times. Key Fob's here today. Bless his heart. He hit a deer, and knowing him, he would have just tried to go to work, but it hit his leg. I told him, come home, come home. So he's home resting. This is the only man that can, what? This is your second deer on a motorcycle?
Yeah.
And thank Source, thank Divine, he did not go down. The bike is not damaged. Again, the first time it wasn't damaged, was it?
It took some damage on.
Oh, so the first one, it did take a little damage, but your body didn't take damage the first time.
No, the first time my shin slammed the air intake.
Oh, yeah, I remember now. But either way, he's safe. The bike is safe. Like, how blessed are we? I was like, baby, I don't know how this happens to you because there's vehicles that hit deer and massive dents are put in them. So we're very blessed that he is here resting his ankle. These oracle cards are massive, so they're hard to shuffle. But I was like, I'm going to jump on live before my tutoring. Yesterday I was super tired. I don't know if it was just a time change and doing some reading that morning, but the morning readings yesterday they were pretty calm. They weren't too intense, but I just felt tired yesterday. I had to lead an AA meeting and I literally was fumbling through the script. I'm like, golly, my brain, I don't know what it is. The full moon, the time change, all of the above. I don't know. But I made me some full moon water. I charged my crystals and I feel good. Oh, and I did some chakra realignment. Schumann is actually the one who asked me for a YouTuber that would help him with chakra alignment. And I actually used that same video that I shared with him. She's a Reiki healer. If you haven't tried Reiki, it's a magical practice. It's amazing where people just share their light. Just everybody has light. It's just different, you can share it in different ways. It's just about, I don't know. It's a beautiful practice. And I don't know how it works, but it makes me feel better when I do it. So I do what makes me feel good. I remember I shared, I think I shared this yesterday. Somebody at one of our AA panels said one day, I meditate frequently. I still don't know what chakra realignment is, but I do it all the time because it feels awesome. That's kind of me. My mom came to visit, mom and dad, yesterday, and I have my chakra, what do you call it, babe? Tapestry?
Yeah.
Tapestry. I used to say tapestry. He had to correct me. Tapestry. And she's like, Crystal, and then I have my deity, my Hindu deity behind me. And she's like, what is this? Because she's never seen, this side of me. I never knew this was a side of me. It's the real me, I guess, huh? And I had to explain to her, I'm like, well, Mom, the chakras are just like these things. It was really hard for me to try to explain. But I was like, they're like these focal points in our body that help us stay aligned with source and in a positive mindset. And it was pretty cool because I actually got to use an example. She cut her hair and she just like, as she's getting older, she wishes she had thicker hair like she did when she was younger. And so she saw a picture of herself in the camper where she used to have long hair. And she said, I wish I could have hair like that still. I would long hair. And I said, you can. You wear your hair how you want to. And so, I told her, I was like, society is what makes us think our hair is too thin or too thick or too fat or whatever. Society makes us think that. I said, and you know what's funny, Mom? Half the people who make us feel like our hair is too thin are probably buying fake hair extensions. So their hair is thin as well. But you get this illusion of like you're not good enough from what you see on social media or news or TV or whatever. So when she asked about my chakra tapestry, I was like, well, see, these things inside of us, these chakras, help us stay aligned. And I said, this 3D world out there can suck us dry and make us feel like our hair is too thin, so we can't wear it long. I was like, but this helps us stay aligned with the right thing, the positivity, the loving yourself, the divine. And I was like, then I just explained to her, having the tapestries around me helps me remember, to stay in a positive mindset, to stay in the attitude of giving to others and lifting others up and keeping my headspace. I think I said that already, in a good spot. Anyways, look, I just barely drank a little bit of coffee and I feel like I already got to go potty. Again, I just pottied right before. But the full moon was amazing, and it's a Taurus full moon, or also known as the Beaver full moon. So it was so bright. It literally looked like the sun. It was crazy. Oh, there it goes. I was like, this is taking a minute. Like it was me rambling instead of focusing. I just pulled from my Oracle deck while I wait to see if somebody wants to jump in. I love this work. I get this card quite a bit. This is wholeness, and it's really funny how the card is alive typically, unless I'm off or something, but they typically align. Journey to wholeness, which is definitely what I've been going on. Like this, I feel like I'm robot still. I can see this is freezing, but this one's not. We'll see. Somebody will tell me once they finally jump on. Journey to wholeness. Self-acceptance, wholeness, unconditional love, soul fragments, returning, accepting others as they are, staying energetically present, accepting all parts of self, healing internal dis-ease. So it's like disease, but dis-ease, because that's ultimately what disease is, right? There's some kind of dis-ease in our body that's manifesting. Traditional Japanese painters do not paint the eyes of a deity before the rest of the body. As they say, this is the element that brings it to life. But for this image, I did just that. Isn't it beautiful? I did just that. It was one of the most profound painting experiences I have experienced. I created deep into the night, and no matter how hard I tried, I could not put my paintbrush down. At 3 a.m., I was coaxed away, and as I stepped back, I burst into tears. I was clear that at the being that come alive on canvas could be sensed in my art space and felt as if it was within me. The canvas held a half-formed being, part woman and somewhat octopus. She was troubled. The process she was in was quite disturbing to her. After doing a clearing, I was able to sleep. The next morning, my housemate inquired what had happened in the night, as his pictures were falling off the walls. As I worked on the painting over the next week, it felt like this being was undergoing healing. She was brought to wholeness and became quite beautiful with evolved energy systems and a sense of enlightenment and knowing about her. I've come to realize that this being is a hybrid. There are mixed reports about what caused these beings to be this way, but it seems there was a distinct sense of upset and disease amongst them, and they had an intense longing to be whole again. So she's talking about this oracle deck, this oracle deck is Beyond Lemuria deck. So she's talking about Lemuria and beings within Lemuria. And they had an intense longing to be whole again. Some say the Lemurian hybrids were experiments done by the Atlanteans as they pushed what was possible. Others say they were a result of vibratory similarities as the Lemurians became more physicalized, causing them to mix with that of animals, depending on where their vibration was. Most accounts associate the hybrid form with dis-ease and a sense of being outcast. It is understood that hybrids started appearing toward the end of the Lemurian epoch as they were densifying, and the Atlantean Atlantean, mind-based intellect interfered with the ebb and flow of the Lemurian ways, though this is not what caused their demise. The meaning of this card is about loving yourself and others from a sense of wholeness, exactly as you are right now. Last night, somebody defined the word serenity. I knew serenity was like a sense of calming and peace, but they said being at peace with what happened, what is happening, and what could happen. I think my internet's way too slow, maybe. I can't tell how bad it's freezing. We may find ourselves in relationships or scenarios where we can see great potential. We may have concepts of others that are not really who they are due to subconscious projections or ideals. We could have the idea that we will feel better about ourselves when we achieve a goal or status. That success will somehow make everything better. Unfortunately, this takes us out of the present and makes our love somewhat conditional. To be a healer, transcend the perspective that the being in front of you needs to be fixed. Hold the vision that they are perfect as they are. From this place, they can heal themselves through the transformative power of acceptance. Acknowledge the full spectrum of a picture and bring any fractured parts back to the present moment. In this place, we are whole and thus have the power to step into the brightest version of ourselves. I love that. Loving yourself as you are. You know, we're all on this journey. You okay? We're all on this journey together, and you know, we have to love ourselves. I want to put this one out. I always pull one and like put it on my stand, so it just reminds me of the day. Okay, usually I have somebody in here by now. Nobody's wakey, or I'm too robotic. I don't know which one it is. I think it is freezing too much though. Let me see. Maybe if I remove my camera view like that, it might be better. Oh, there we go. Vulnerability. I love this Oracle deck. It's really pretty. Yeah. I don't think it's going to end up working because of the lag.